Number 9, Tom Swagger says, are you playing cards wrong? Oh, I don't know why I added you in there. He said, are playing cards wrong? I was like, am I playing them wrong? Are playing cards wrong? My parents think that they're wrong, even if I'm not playing like poker or anything like that. They think that there's some kind of evil in the card itself. Okay, this is a pretty extreme view. That, like, let's say you're playing War, right? The old card game we used to play when we were kids. You're playing War. Or you're playing Go Fish. Is that wrong? Why would it be wrong? Are games inherently wrong? Is there any scripture that suggests games are wrong? I mean, generally, all things are a blessing from God. So unless there's a problem with it, it's probably good. This is like a good rule of thumb. Moderation is important and things like that. So but I think without any scripture that says that games are actually inherently wrong, and with elements of gaming and competition we find at some places in scripture, I think that we'd have to have a reason to tie down why playing cards are wrong. So the only thing I can think is this guilt by association. So it's going like this, and I'm going to guess here at the thinking that's going on with your parents here. So, Tom, maybe they're thinking, hey, cards are related to gambling. Gambling is related to sin of all kinds, right? Because where there's gambling, there also tends to be a bunch of other sin issues that are in there, obsessive compulsive behaviors and wasting of finances, and people who've lost their homes and their families, and people who are manipulating others through gambling to try to get money from them and things like. So there's all these sins that we think are associated with them. So then that sin, the sins, which are genuine sins, are just related to all gambling, which I'm not sure that all gambling is actually sinful, although much of it ends up being. But no, I don't think personally, I should do a video on this sometime, but I don't gamble. I don't want to gamble. I don't like gambling. It seems like a total waste. But I don't think it's inherently sinful at all times, okay? But they're relating that to gambling. Gambling is a sin. To cards are associated with gambling, so then therefore they're sinful by association. But this is highly selective, and this is perhaps what I might do if I was talking to my parents. Well, first off, I would just say, don't worry about it. Like, just let them think that. It's not worth dividing over this issue. But if you were to try to approach the topic, I think I'd want to show them that you can't keep doing this guilt by association thing. So how much of your life do you have to stop doing, right? Like drinking is obviously associated, alcoholism, car accidents, and all kinds of liver disease and things like this. So alcohol is associated with that, just like playing cards are associated with sin. So then all alcohol is wrong. But Jesus drank alcohol. Oh no, that wasn't alcohol. You don't understand history. No, you don't understand history. That was alcohol. So all alcohol is wrong. Okay, but we have to take it further. What about gluttony? Gluttony is a sin in the Bible too, right? So what about cheeseburgers? Like, there's a lot of gluttons out there who are overweight and who have all diabetes and all kinds of issues, and they have a cheeseburger and a soda and fries. So aren't cheeseburgers and soda and fries also associated with sin? So shouldn't we ban cheeseburgers, sodas, and fries for Christians? Where do you get off this train is the issue that I want us to have. Like, where do I get off the Bible tells us not to sin, but it doesn't tell us to, and not to make any provision for the flesh, of course. So if you have a sin problem with gambling, you shouldn't step anywhere near it. If you have a sin problem with drinking, you shouldn't step anywhere near it. But to make it a rule for every believer, it seems to me is not encouraged in Scripture. Like using alcohol as the example. And I have a video on this if you guys are interested. I go through every verse, positive and negative, about alcohol, and I still don't drink. So this isn't about a guy supporting his drinking habit. But it's the same issue with alcohol, right? This is a positive thing that's meant to be for man's enjoyment and a blessing. It can easily turn into sin. That's the part you watch out for. But there's a positive thing. You don't throw out the baby with the bathwater. So go play cards.